Hey Chiefs Kingdom, welcome to the channel that breathes and lives Kansas City Chiefs. Today, I bring you an exclusive analysis of a statement that's stirring up quite a bit of controversy in the NFL world. The legendary Kurt Warner, Super Bowl champion and a true encyclopedia of football knowledge, had something to say about Patrick Mahomes. And let me tell you, his words will leave you feeling a mix of relief and reflection. Did he defend our quarterback? Or are the criticisms still weighing heavily on number 15? In this video, I'll tell you everything Warner said, bring in stats that will change your perspective on Mahomes' current form, and provide a complete breakdown of our QB's season so far. Spoiler alert, there are plenty of surprises and a few concerns that still have the fan base worried. So go ahead and smash that like button to support the channel. Your like helps us keep bringing you exclusive news and in-depth analysis. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything about the Chiefs. Let's get started. Let's start with the basics. The Chiefs have a positive record and are leading the AFC, but the last game against the Carolina Panthers left a lot of people scratching their heads. After all, beating a 3-8 team by such a narrow margin isn't what we expect from a team with Super Bowl aspirations. And here's the big question. What's happening with the Chiefs' offense? Patrick Mahomes hasn't been delivering those spectacular numbers we've come to expect. Is it his fault, or is the problem somewhere else? We'll dive into that, but first let's talk about the pressure. Yes, my friends, the pressure on Mahomes has never been higher. He's the highest paid player in the NFL. And with that comes enormous responsibility. On top of that, teams like the Bills and Ravens are eyeing that top spot in the AFC. Any slip-up now could be costly. The question is Mahomes ready to handle this? And right in the middle of all this discussion, Kurt Warner, one of the greatest quarterbacks in history, came forward with an analysis that sent shockwaves through the football world. Let's talk about what he said. On November 25th, Kurt Warner took to Twitter, or X as it's now called, to share a direct message about Mahomes. And here's what he said. I know our Patrick Mahomes might not have the stats we're used to, or the O might not be meeting expectations, but until you watch the tape every week and understand what he's actually doing, play by play, you have no idea how good this guy really is. And he added, he consistently makes the play at the moment, whether it shows up as impressive in the stat book or not. This statement divided opinion. While many Chiefs fans felt relieved to see a legendary player like Kurt Warner defending Mahomes, others questioned whether this analysis was just a way to sugarcoat what's really happening with the Chiefs' offense. Warner also brought up an interesting perspective. Sometimes stats don't tell the full story, and he knows what he's talking about. After all, he went through periods in his career where people doubted him, even when he was playing at an incredibly high level. Let's dive into that. Kurt Warner is a player who knows all about pressure. He was a league MVP and a Super Bowl champion, but he also went through some tough stretches in his career. From 2002 to 2006, he had several seasons where the stats weren't impressive, but that didn't mean he wasn't playing well. It was just a matter of context. Weak teams, injuries, lack of surrounding talent, and that's where the parallel with Mahomes comes in. Could number 15 be facing something similar? Are the criticisms failing to consider the context? Let's break this down further. According to Pro Football Reference, Patrick Mahomes started the 2024 season relatively slow. In his first 7 games, he didn't throw for 3 touchdowns in any of them. For a quarterback of his caliber, that's unusual. However, in recent weeks, we've seen a more aggressive Mahomes. Since the game against the Raiders, he's thrown 3 touchdowns in 3 of his last 4 games. This shows he's peaking at the right time as the playoffs approach. Now, let's talk about the receivers. The arrival of DeAndre Hopkins has undoubtedly been a positive factor. The connection between them is growing and could be the key to the Chiefs' playoff success. But the truth is, our receiving core as a whole still doesn't inspire much confidence. Outside of Travis Kelce, consistency has been an issue. And here's the question. Is the Chiefs' offense relying too much on Mahomes to solve everything on his own? Are we expecting him to be perfect all the time? Think about that. If we compare this point in the season to 2023, Mahomes had fewer touchdowns and more interceptions. Statistically, he's doing better now. But why does it feel like he's underperforming? The answer lies in execution. In 2023, even with lower numbers, the Chiefs' offense seemed more in sync. In 2024, we've seen more drops, missed routes, and occasionally questionable decisions from Mahomes. Is he feeling the pressure, or is the problem somewhere else? And another thing, we have to remember that the NFL is a league of adjustments. Opponents have been studying Mahomes for years. They know how to make life difficult for him. The challenge now is how he'll adapt. Let's go back to Kurt Warner's point. Stats don't always tell the whole story. Mahomes is the kind of player who makes a difference even when the numbers don't show it. He has a unique ability to improvise and make plays that no one else can. But is that enough? In the NFL, numbers still matter. They're an important metric for evaluating consistency and impact. And honestly, Mahomes isn't delivering the same numbers as his best seasons. Does that mean he's worse? Not necessarily. But it does mean the Chiefs' offense still has issues that need to be addressed. What do you think, Chiefs Kingdom? Is Mahomes being unfairly criticized, or are the doubts legitimate? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. All right, everyone. That wraps up this debate. Kurt Warner's statement brought an important perspective. Patrick Mahomes is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league, even when the stats aren't as flashy. But at the same time, we know the NFL is ruthless. Any mistake now could be costly, and the Chiefs need to be at their best for the playoffs. Will Mahomes silence the critics once again? His track record suggests he will, but only time will tell. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Mahomes' current form? Is he still the best quarterback in the NFL, or is the pressure starting to affect him? Drop your opinion in the comments below. And before you leave, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your fellow Chiefs fans. Let's keep this conversation going in the comments. See you in the next video. Go Chiefs!